Good day, everyone. In this video, we are going to have here handwriting identification and examination chapter. So, as we move on, let us try to have just an introduction on handwriting for a while. So, as we said, handwriting is a very complicated series of acts. Okay, why it is said to be a complicated series of acts? So take note, it is that, or it doesn't only involve, or handwriting doesn't only involve hand or muscles of our hands. Okay, so we can create a handwriting basically by just the hand movement. Okay, so what factors or what are the other parts of our body that affects or that contributes in order for us to create writings, or we can produce handwriting, right? So it is said, or it is or it starts from our brain or our mind. Okay, that's why it is said to be that handwriting is called as visible speech. Bakit? Okay, so makakapagsulat ba tayo, makakabuo ba tayo ng libro if we can, or if we doesn't involve our mind, or if we don't think. Okay, so we can create writings based on, or if we have, or we also do brain functioning, or there is an involvement of brain functioning. Okay, so that's why it is said to be as a visible speech. And to further elaborate on that, on how is handwriting being produced, we have here the physiological basis of handwriting. uh, we summarize it into a simple flowchart. So it starts from our brain, right? Especially what we see, what we hear, or what we perceive from our surrounding, or what is being perceived by our senses, that is being interpreted, that is being analyzed by our brain. Okay, especially or particularly the part cortex. So this is taking charge when it comes to those, or this is the one that affects or taking charge in emotions or attitudes. That's why our writings, right, okay, are the handwritings of a certain author of books, or certain author of a uh, novel. Okay, it involves, as they write, it involves emotions and attitudes. Okay, that's why readers, as they read those outputs of those authors, they were also, or they are also being affected, or they are being influenced on what they are reading. Okay, they feel, or they can feel what are they, or what is uh or they can feel the emotions of the writings. That's why, with that, after the brain processing, okay, that's the time it controls our muscles, especially the flexor and extensor muscles that we refer to in here. Okay, so with that flexor, we are referring to the upward. Okay, flexor, these are the, flexor, these are muscles. So this is not for the upward slopes, but these are the ones that are forming the downward strokes. Okay, these are the part of our muscles that forms the downward strokes of our handwritings. Okay, and for the extensor, that is the one that pushes up, or this is the one that forms the upward strokes of our handwriting. Okay, so just like in letters, okay, the ones that creates the upward strokes, particularly the extensor, that's why we were able to create different letters. So as we have, okay, sample in cursive, the letter L. So that is because of the extensor, and then the downward stroke, it's because of the flexor muscle. Okay, so same as with the other letters. And with that, these flexor and extensor muscles combine with lumbrical muscles to form lateral strokes. Combining lumbrical muscles, we were able to form lateral strokes because letters, writings, we can it's not simply upward and downward strokes. There are some lateral lateral strokes that we need also in order for us to create a certain letter, just like letter E. Okay, we have the downward stroke and then the lateral strokes, and that is because of the combination of flexor, extensor, and the lumbrical muscles. All right. So with that, the muscles are involved already, and with that, we have here the extension of our hand. Okay, so the extension of our hand, or in other words, the writing instrument. Okay, writing instrument, I mean writing implement. Okay, writing instrument, especially the pen. Okay, so with that, that is how handwriting is being formed. Okay, that's why they say that it is starts. I mean, that's why they say that it is a visible speech of our mind. Okay, it's because it starts from our mind or our brain. Okay, and again, another author said that it is a neuromuscular task. Okay, as we said a while ago, it involves our brain functioning. And with that, aside from that, there's another person here said that this is almost an unconscious expression, especially if we often, or if we do this, okay, for or almost every day we are doing it, especially yung signature natin, di ba? So the signature, because we are it is being it is somewhat like it's registered already, okay, in our muscle, okay, flexors and extensor muscles. That's why we were able to create our signature even though without thinking. So it's because of the practice or several times that we were able to do that. That's why even though that we are unconscious, okay, or even though that we are not involving, okay, brain functioning, we were able to create the signature. Okay, even if we are just closing our eyes, or even if we close our eyes, we can still create our signature. So that is for just handwriting. So what is this term collation? Okay, so when we say collation in the study of question document examination, okay, so we have here, it is the side by side comparison, especially in detecting forgeries, or in detecting if the handwriting is uh, disguised, okay, or if the handwriting is copied or just falsified, okay, and critical comparison through side-by-side examination. That is what we term as collation. Okay, and then comparison, okay, this is setting two or more items, especially side by side, to weigh their identifying qualities. It's almost the same with uh, collation, okay, and then this refers not only a visual but also a mental act in which the element of one item are related to the counterparts of the other. So it's also, we are referring to the identifying, or what we are looking on when we say comparison is the identifying qualities, or we are going to weight also the identifying qualities. Yeah, after we find out, okay, after we find out if there are lots of similar characteristics, then we can able to say that the handwriting is the same, or it's written by the same person. Okay, but that is not I mean, not most of the time that is not the case. Most of the time, if that is fake, okay, we were able to identify, or we were able to see, okay, differences, right? And we have here disguised handwriting. So when we say disguised handwriting naman, it is said to be that a writer may deliberately try to alter his usual writing habits of hiding his identity. Okay? So meron yung iba ay ayaw nila na ah, malaman na sila yung sumulat nung ah, letter, kumbaga. Okay? Ayaw nilang malaman na sila yung sumulat ng letter. Okay? Gusto nilang hindi makilala na sila yung gumawa ng letter. So, anong gagawin? Babaguhin nila yung handwriting. Okay? So, yung paraan na ginawa nila na yun, that is said as disguised handwriting. Disguised writing. Okay? So, babaguhin niya yung handwriting style niya. It's either yung sloop, okay? So, kung dati is yung slant ng handwriting niya is pa pakanan, okay? But now, in order for him to disguise, maybe he will be using already a slant or slope ng kanyang handwriting will be on going towards the left side. Okay, so that is one way, or that is what we term as disguised handwriting, just changing the style of his handwriting. Okay, and then we have here extended writing. So we are referring to the any writings. Okay, we are referring to any writings by an individual other than his own signature or initial. Other hand, any other writings other than from his own signature or initial, we term it as extended writing. Another definition, it is also when we say extended writing, it is when the children are given a set amount of time to produce a piece of writing without any help from an adult. So it's part or it's term used when it comes to the time, okay, that children are developing or practicing their handwriting or learning how to write certain letters or certain symbols. Okay, so that is referred to as extended writing. Okay, and then graphoanalysis, it is just the same with graphology. Okay, graphology or graphoanalysis, magkaparehas lang po sila. So this is said to be the art of judging a person's character, okay, disposition and aptitude from his handwriting. So we are going to analyze the handwriting and then we can say or we judge the person by his handwriting. Okay? Kaya meron yung iba, sinasabi porket pangit yung handwriting, sinasabi nila na pangit or possible that person is also or having a bad characteristic. Okay? And then the other way around kapag maganda naman yung sulat. Okay? And take note that graphoanalysis is based on the two fundamental strokes. Okay? Usually the curve and the straight strokes. And as I've said a while ago, it's just the same with the graphology. It is the art of determining character's disposition, okay, or a person's amplitude from studying his handwriting. Okay, and next one in here is graphometry. By the word graphometry, it involves measurement. Okay, because in comparison of handwritings, okay, between the standard and the question document, we also apply graphometry or we try to measure the distance from the letters, okay, or the distance from the words. Distance from the words, okay, how they were able to write those words or the alignment, okay, and others. Okay, so in analyzing, okay, in question document examination, this is also very much involved. Graphometry, measuring the distance, the alignment, okay, distance from word, distance from the paragraph, okay, distance from the okay, letters also. And now we have here the reprographic examination. Reprographic examination, it is said to be okay, an examination of documents which includes photocopies, facsimile, okay, and photographs and the like. Okay, any other writings or documents that are being produced by the modern technologies that we have, okay, or printing technologies that we have. So facsimile, okay, it is a system of transmitting and reproducing graphic matter, okay, such as printing or still pictures by means of signals sent over telephone lines. So this is usually connected with the telephone lines, okay, this machine, and then with that, okay, they can send some written information, okay, or some written or some writings through these through signals, okay, and then with that they were able or this machine can print, okay, that information that was sent by the sender, okay, through the signal sent over the telephone lines. Okay, that's why it is being connected with the telephone. Okay, and then that is reprographic examination. Tachography naman, it says, in other words, it is a bad writing. Okay, so from Greek word or the etymology of this term, it is from the Greek word kakos, it means bad, and the Greek word graphene, which means write. Okay, so take note, cacography, we are referring to bad writings. And on the other hand, we have here calligraphy. It is simply means also the art of beautiful writing. Okay, so from the Greek word calligraphia, okay, from calligraphos or from calligraphos, it means a person who writes beautifully. Okay, with the etymology, it is from kalos, okay, and graphien or kalos means beauty and graphien means write. Okay, so that is calligraphy. And then when we say handwriting style also, when it comes to question document examination, we don't simply refer to the style of the handwriter or the individual. Okay, so this is a kind of copybook, or in other words, when we say copybook, these are the standard system. Okay, or the we are referring, an example could be the alphabets that we are using in school, that we use in order for us to learn how to write letter A, B, or what is the proper writing for letter A, B, C, D. Okay, so we refer to them as copy. I mean, that is an example of a copybook system. Okay, and that is what we refer to as a handwriting style. So there are different copybook systems. So there could be a French copybook system, there could be a British copybook system, and there could be an for other places they have also their own copybook system. So it depends the style, or the style, how does the letters lands, okay, how does the letter is being written. So that is what we refer to as handwriting style, as we have in here. Okay, so we don't refer to the particular style of an individual. Okay, or we refer to it simply to the kind of copybook system. And with that, the majuscule, we refer to it as the capital letters, or in other words, uppercase letters. So majuscule, uppercase letters po ang tinutukoy natin. And pag minuscule naman, we are referring to the small letters, okay, or lowercase letters. Take note, lowercase letters, those are referred to as small letters. And we have here the forerunners of writings. Okay, so we have here the forerunners of writings. Okay, and again, for runners of writings, we have here the first one is the cuneiform. So as we have said, it started also in Sumerian times or Sumerian Empire. So this is known as the earliest known forms of written expression. Okay, and sa nila, anong ginagamit nila as writing instruments? So they are using the stylus, okay, blunt reed stylus, and a clay tablet. Okay, so they are going to write those or they are going to write something on the clay tablet and stylus. That is the writing materials that they are using during those times. So again, from cuneiform is from the Latin word cuneus, okay, meaning wedge, right? So this is cuneiform. And we have here paleography. Okay, paleography, it is from the Greek word pallois. Okay, it means old, and graphien, which means to write. Okay, so it is said to be as the study of ancient handwritings. Okay, paleography is study of ancient handwritings. Okay, and the practice of deciphering what does it means, or what does those ancient writings means. Okay, so that is paleography. Take note, it is the study of handwritings, ancient handwritings to be specific. Okay, and they try to decipher what's the meaning of those ancient writings that they were able to discover. Okay, and calligraphy, again, it is a beautiful, or as we have said a while ago, the art of beautiful or elegant handwriting. So again, kalos, beauty, and graphien, okay, graphien or graphe, writing. Okay, and the art of giving form to signs in impressive and harmonious and skillful manner. So this is style of writing is described as script, usually script, hand, or alphabet. Okay, so again, we have here also the petroglyphs. Petroglyphs, okay, these are images. Take note of the word create. I mean, images created by removing, okay, part of rock surface. Take note, removing the part of rock surface. That is what we refer to as petroglyphs. Okay, creating images by removing part of the rock surface. So how can we remove part of the rock surface? By incising, pecking, carving, or it could be by abrading of the rocks. Okay, so take note, petroglyphs, it came from the Greek word petros, means stone, and glyphien, it means to carve. Okay, and originally it is coined in a French term as petroglyph. Okay, and in comparison with pictograph are image drawn or painted on rock surface. It is not by removing. Take note, it is not removing by, removing part of the stone. Okay, so if we are going to paint, okay, on a rock surface or draw on a rock surface, we term them as pictograph or petrograms. Okay, so that is the difference between the term a while ago that we were able to have the petroglyphs. Okay, and next in here is the petroforms naman. These are patterns and shape made by many large rocks and boulders over the ground. So this is, or that, it doesn't involve, okay, human activity on drawing or removing part of the rocks, but it is simply patterns or shapes made by many large rocks. As you can see in this is natural. Okay, this is formed by the different large rocks and boulders on the ground. Okay, so that is petroforms. And inoxuks. Okay, so inoxuks we have here. Okay, a figure made of piled stones or boulders. Usually it is seen in Arctic, and they are human-like structure. Okay, they are inoxuks that is seen. Okay, that is a figure of stone or piled stones or boulders. Okay, and then we have here iconographs. These are graphical representations of objects and ideals in drawings on cave walls. Okay, so iconographs that is seen on cave walls. Okay, okay, usually in caves walls, and that was maybe we don't just, maybe, or most of it are those created by ancient individuals. Okay, and those are what we refer to as iconographs. And hieroglyphics, especially Egyptian hieroglyphics, these are this literally means sacred carvings. Okay, and then hieroglyphs comes from the Greek word hieroglyphica. Okay, and then heros sacred and glypho to engrave, or it means to engrave. So it is combination of ideographic and alphabetic elements, especially these Egyptian hieroglyphics, and these are used, or they use usually cursive hieroglyphics literature, and it is usually written on a papyrus and wood writing material. Okay, and that is Egyptian hieroglyphs. And ideogram or ideograph, okay, this is, or it is from a Greek word idea, and it is a Greek word idea, okay, and grapho to write. Okay, and then with a graphic, these are graphic symbol that represents an idea rather than a group of letters. So as you can see, this is a symbol and it means I. Okay, and then another word, this is a symbol that represents a forest. Okay, and then we have here a symbol and it represents mountains, and we refer to those as ideogram or ideograph. Okay, and with that, graffiti or graffito, this is from Italian word graffito. Okay, it means a scratch, and usually we can see this in public areas, especially with those gangs and other groups. Okay, so usually in buildings, parks, toilets, walls, trains, and on the walls you can see different graffiti or graffitos. Okay, or paintings on those walls or surfaces on a public area. Okay, and scribes, we refer to those persons, okay, who are writing books or documents by hand as a profession, or usually when during the ancient time, these are people, okay, considered to be as person who can or called by different individuals who can write or who can create a handwriting. So they are going to call scribes for them to dictate what they want to say, and then that will be written by the scribes. Okay, and now this is profession or this profession nowadays. If in the ancient time they are looked on as scribes, but now we are referring, or we could refer to them now as public servants, journalists. Okay, especially journalists, accountants, or lawyers. So they are scribes during the ancient time, or scrivener. Okay, so overall that is for this time, and then we are going to continue on the next topics on our next sessions or in our next video recordings. So thank you for listening.